From the Schmoes No Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for Box Office Breakdown, where all the weekend numbers get chewed up, analyzed, and spit back in your face. And now, here's your host, the lovely Sara Stretton, the diabolical Finstock, and every man's hero, J.T.E.
JT, I think your title's my favorite. Every man's hero.
I've been more of a martyr this week than a hero.
You're going to have to address that later.
I will.
The fans need to hear from you.
Can't wait.
Tons of controversy.
Hello, Schmoeville. I'm so glad to be back with another episode of Box Office Breakdown. Of course, we're going to start the show with getting through this weekend's numbers. Then we're going to get into the international box office. We're going to do a top 5 list brought to you by boxofficemojo.com. And then do some predictions. And I have the wonderful JTE and Finstock.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
Did you have a nice weekend?
I had a wonderful weekend.
Nice.
Thank you.
Did you do anything fun or?
I actually, last week we talked about, I had 3 movies I really wanted to see. And I saw the one movie that I didn't think I was going to see. I saw Liam Neeson's. I'm calling it Taken 4 because that's what my friends were calling it. And I don't know how I ended up there, and it was creepy, and I couldn't sleep last night.
Well, helped it in the box office.
It did. I'm adding to these numbers. So let's get into those. Number 5, Dolphin Tale 2, on 9 million. Then going to No Good Deed with 10.2 million. Number 3, This Is Where I Leave You, opening this week with 11.8 million. The one I saw, A Walk Among the Tombstones, 13 million. And number 1, guys, who would have guessed? The Maze Runner, $32.5 million.
Yeah. I think we all had that as number 1, though, right?
Yeah, we did.
We all had Maze Runner.
I
Yeah.
think everyone knew it was going to be Maze Runner. You had an adaptation, you had all the teenagers.
Yeah, all the MTV guys seen it. I mean, the numbers could have been a little better. Maybe everybody's home playing Destiny when they probably should be living their destiny.
You're not happy with the 32.5? What were you thinking?
I thought 38 to 40. I mean, I think that's what everybody was looking for,
Well, the thing is, didn't they already greenlit a sequel? They announced it after this weekend. So I don't understand. I felt the same way. I thought the numbers were kind of low.
Yeah, they are.
And I was like, wow, they're still already greenlit this thing?
Mm-hmm. I think next week we're going to see a drop to probably at least 20, 18.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, look, little known fact about that movie, Catherine Hardwicke was supposed to direct it. But she was like, I don't know if I want to get myself attached to another young adult franchise.
Oh, she did Twilight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And she's coming back on from Maze Runner.
Little Finstock fact.
What do you guys think about the numbers for Tombstone? Because, Liam Neeson, he's pretty big these days.
It was a lot higher than I thought it was.
Really?
I did not think people were going to see this
That's
much.
right. You didn't put it in the top 5.
That's
And then I saw
That's
it. This
totally
is why
ridiculous.
It's ironic. Well, we know Liam Neeson brings in a lot of numbers, but going to this genre for him, if you're looking at Taken 2 was a sequel, and it got $49.5 million. But then if you're looking at Nonstop was 28.8. These are their opening weekend numbers. Yeah. It's going down. So I just think that
the luster
I
is
love
gone.
him. He does a great job. He's a fantastic actor. But I think his appeal is going down with these same movies. Versus when he does come out with a Lego movie, which he's not branded on.
Well, let's not forget, those other films were PG-13. This was rated R, and it was a heavy rated R on top of that.
That is true. There's
and
a lot of blood.
that's going to affect the box office.
But I would say that the marketing for this is not as much of a thriller as it's an action movie. And I went and saw it, and it's much more along the scary, creepy, twisted notes.
Yeah, I saw it this weekend. It was kind of like Seven meets Cop and a Half.
Okay.
The Burt Reynolds movie.
A Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, that's a totally different movie.
Love
that movie. The film was good. I thought it was decent. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Liam Neeson, anyone from high school who watched Taken, Unstoppable, and these movies, to my father, who's 50-something, is going to want to go see this movie just because he's in it. You put him with a cell phone in a trailer, that's all you need.
Sit in a trench coat.
But I think that luster I think it's wearing off, and I think we're seeing it in the numbers. This one still opened lower than his past 2 action films, and I think that's going to keep on going.
But they always release these movies in the week periods.
Yes.
I think Nonstop was in January, February.
Mm-hmm.
This is in September. They know when to release them. They're not releasing these things in the summer when it's heavy hitters.
He's the guy who Liam Neeson's the guy who gets most of his, equating to baseball, he'll get most of his numbers off the number 4 and 5 starters. Like he'll hit the home runs off of him. He'll bat like 320, 35 home runs, and like half of the home runs are off like the number 4 and 5 guys.
I have no idea what he just said.
It's basically
He's just talking about like how the lineup for how you hit.
It's an equating.
I see. I think I got you. He's not a starter in the lineup. He's not your leadoff.
But people like, yeah, exactly. He's a National League seventh place spray hitter. But you got to look at it this way too. It's like the name Tombstone itself.
Yeah.
Is it's really intriguing to people. The movie Tombstone.
Really? Because I thought the title was horrible.
Tombstone Pizza.
No one knows what it's called. That's why everyone's referring it to either as a Liam Neeson movie, Taken 4, the next Taken. No one wants to say this title.
It is a large title. It's not like the Steve Carell movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah,
it's like Jimmy talks to somebody at a zoo, and then Jimmy loses, and then Jimmy has a really good day, or something like that.
Oh, that's a pain.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about the rest of the box office. This Is Where I Leave You, coming in third. So our top 3 movie this week, all opening movies, and then 4 and 5 are on their second week, which is totally bringing in this whole new palette of films instead of our 7-week, 8-week long-running movies.
The yuppie crowd went to go see this. The yoga moms, they wear yoga pants.
You think that they went to This Is Where I Leave You and not?
Yeah, they have the double strailers because everybody's got skeletons in their closet and they don't really want to talk about them, so they'll just go see it.
That actually makes some sense.
Yeah, it's a skeleton closet stuff. Yeah, it's true.
It's like it's a movie about a dysfunctional family.
Yes.
So maybe dysfunctional families go to see these.
Yeah, and
to work out their issues without actually saying anything.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
It's very passive aggressive.
It's like therapy for like $12.
Absolutely.
Well, people would argue that that's what all movies are, some sort of escapism.
That's true, I guess. I got a bone to pick with Jane Fonda though, because she really. I don't like her workout tapes. She was basically telling like white girls at the 80s that having a nice round body and like, big nice legs and thighs was just not the way to go. And now America's learning that it's not about that anymore. So I don't like her.
How does this have anything to do with the film?
She's in it.
Okay.
She's the mom.
Jane Fonda's in the movie?
She is the mom. I actually do think in the trailer they do point out some of her physical attributes. But This Is Where I Leave You has a full cast of A-list stars.
Yeah.
Of people who are really drawing in new crowds. You also have like the upcoming A-listers in it. Adam Driver coming out Star Wars, getting a huge crowd from girls.
Great hair.
So I think that it is, with all these stars, it's masking a whole bunch of audience. You don't have just the moms. You have the people who are interested in Adam Driver, who are younger. You have the comedy people with Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
Like, who each demographic kind of has an actor they could relate to.
It's true.
Besides, like, your kids, which obviously went to Maze Runner.
Yeah.
And are going to have a lot more movies in the next coming weeks.
When the parents went to the theater with the kids went and saw Maze Runner. The parents went and saw This Is the Way I Leave You.
Yeah.
Christian Harloff
But like for me, this was one of the movies I really wanted to see this week. The reviews haven't been as hot as for Maze Runner or Tombstones, which is kind of unfortunate.
How did the other movie you wanted to see this week do?
Tusk?
Yeah.
Tusk did not make like any money, and it didn't even make the top 10.
Didn't even make the top 10. Wow.
It's a piece of junk.
Did you see it?
I heard. JTI let me know about it. JTE let me know about it.
No, did you?
I saw it. It started off really good, and by the end, I just thought it kind of went completely downhill.
That's so sad.
It is. It is. Like, literally halfway through the movie, I was like, wow, this is great. And then the third act happened, and I was like, wow, that movie just took a nosedive.
That's unfortunate, because it had such potential.
Who knows? You might feel differently.
I'm still going to see it. I need to bring those numbers back up for the box office. And then, of course, when we get into our fourth and fifth movie, No Good Deed and Dolphin Tale. Coming back from last week.
Yeah.
Dolphin Tale still raking in some change. I guess most of the kids, if they're not old enough for Maze Runner, that's where they're going, while their parents are in This Is Where I Leave You. And No Good Deed got really good reviews last week, so I'm sure a lot of people were pushed to go see it.
Dolphin Tale, second week making 9.3 or whatever it was, is actually pretty good, considering, from 16 to 9, that's actually not that bad of a drop-off.
But, what's it doing? Because it's only made $27 million.
It's 43% drop-off versus where No Good Deed had a 57.9 drop-off.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You know what that makes me, though, right? 5 for 5
again. 5 for 5 again? You gotta be kidding me.
Poof.
Oh, gosh.
Are you serious?
Again.
I really don't like losing. And so far, we've gotten some comments about what the conditions of this bet game are going to be.
Oh, no.
Finstock now has 1 of 5 wins. Poof. And... Shut up. And so currently some people are saying that I should wear the mask. If you
Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one option. I want more options so I can get out of this one.
I go along with that.
So guys, keep commenting in. I want to know what the winner of this bet should do and what the losers of this bet should do. And rounding off the rest of the box office, nothing, in my opinion, too interesting. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy number 6, Let's Be Cops number 7, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 8, The Drop number 9,
The Drop
and
drops.
If I Say number 10. Yeah, I would say The Drop is one of our biggest changes. It is in its second week. It went down 50%, and it's only bringing in 2 million this week.
It's getting horrible Rotten Tomatoes and reviews. I mean, it's a shame because
What, The Drop?
Yeah,
I thought it was doing decent.
no, Gandolfini. I mean, look, it's his last movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a shame he has to go out on that this kind of film.
It's only over 1,000 theaters.
You're wrong
also.
though. The Drop, I want to say, I'm looking it up, has 88% on
I thought
Rotten
so.
Tomatoes.
Really?
Let's see if
Yeah.
that's a difference between critics and audience 84, critics 88.
Well, maybe they're just.
And then you're looking at like The Maze Runner and Walk Amongst the Tombstones at around the 60 mark.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into predictions later, but like The Equalizer and Box Trolls are both at like the 70 mark.
Wow. So they already
According to
have
Rotten Tomatoes.
they already got a lot of reviews out for those, huh?
True. So let's get into more of the international numbers.
Okay.
The Maze Runner expanded to 45 new markets already this weekend and earned $37.6 million. Of course, taking first pretty much all of the markets. Then still talking about Dawn of Planet of the Apes, opening in Japan, the final market for it this weekend. Only 3.7 million debut.
Wow.
But it has earned over 681 million worldwide, including 100 million in China. So it's on track to be close to 700 million total.
100 million in China?
100
For
million.
Planet of the Apes?
Yep. Exactly.
What is with Japan?
I love those guys.
Do they not like blockbuster movies? All these big blockbusters come out and they
It
don't
has
do
like
good out there.
Godzilla in it.
I bet Godzilla killed over there.
I love
actually.
that guy.
I believe we can look it up for next week.
Yeah.
Lucy added another 13 million this weekend, which brings the overseas total to 253 million. JT, you keep bringing up Lucy. Do you have a soft spot for that movie?
I have a soft spot for Scarlett Johansson.
I
mean,
concur.
When I look at these international numbers and like how Maze Runner did fairly well this weekend, for me, I think it really comes down to star power or the concept. Something like Maze Runner, it looks like a huge sci-fi kind of concept. It looks like a little event film. I think that's what really draws the people
I'm
out there.
putting Maze Runner, at least for international markets, much more on the scale of the movie it is than the actors or than the material. Because I don't think, like, the Maze Runner's
no one
unknown
famous.
adaptation, but it's not huge. And it's TV actors here.
Yes, exactly.
It's not huge film actors that are expanding new franchises. So it really is a concept thing, in my opinion.
You see the trailer and there's this huge maze, special effects. I feel like
Big budget.
Yeah, big budget movies are really the people out there when they go to movies, they want to get their money's worth, and I feel like that's why these big films play better over there. I mean, The Way We Leave You, is that even going to come out international?
No.
I mean, This Is Where I Leave You?
Yeah, it's not going to do anything
maybe
like
Australia,
It's not gonna do a
something
lot.
like that.
yeah.
Walk Amongst the Tombstones, not as much either. I think it's put in a lot of money.
Yeah.
Get a lot of money back.
You know
in
what?
foreign
Also,
market.
international, there's a lot of bootlegging. A lot of bootleg films, especially when you go down to like South America and even like China. So I think you need those big budget
But you say
films
that,
to
but
draw
if you
people
look
out
at
there.
look at Expendables 3,
Yeah.
which got leaked before it was released, had millions of downloads and still made a lot in the international market.
But that comes down to star power. Look who's in that movie. International, they love star. That's why Arnold and Stallone. The only reason they're
You got the
making
biggest stars
movies,
in the world. Stallone.
their movies have been tanking in America. Escape Plan, The Last Stand, they've been tanking in America, but they do money overseas
Which is
their
funny,
star
'cause
power.
according to Finstock, the titles aren't all that appealing.
That's true.
Well, yeah, you could segue right into my title, my foreign title of American movies.
You have more?
I'm gonna have 3 every week.
All right, yeah, let's.
We'll go right into it.
I think I won
Okay.
last week, right? Because I got 1 and you got 0.
Oh,
right?
are we
Yeah,
playing
you
the
did.
game again?
Yeah, let's do
this
game
is the best
style.
game in the world.
This is the only thing I'm going to win. This guy keeps getting 5 out of 5.
So this is called Whacked Out Foreign Titles of American Movies. Most of
Okay.
them are from China. My friends over there in China.
It's going to be great. I love this. Go.
This one's called Ghetto Busters.
Ghostbusters.
No, it's not Ghostbusters. Hold on. Ghetto Busters.
Ghetto Busters.
Yeah, it's an older film.
Is it the movie Colors with Sean Penn?
That's not a bad guess.
That's not a bad guess.
That's not a bad guess. The answer is, you're not gonna get it. It's called "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
Oh, with
It was an
Keenan
older-
Ivory Wings.
It was one of Keenan
I
Ivory
didn't
Wings'
see this
first
version.
movies.
Holy cow. That's
Yes.
hilarious. You would not
And
think.
it's called Ghetto Busters.
That's hilarious. I used
in
to love that
China
movie.
again.
All right, 0 points on that one.
Okay,
Give me another
this one might be a little easier. I will marry a prostitute and save money.
Oh, I know this one.
Hold on.
Julia Roberts plays a hooker.
No, it's
Pretty Woman.
No, it's not Pretty Woman.
It's Pretty Woman. It's
Pretty Woman.
What?
Yeah.
How's that saving money? Oh, I
I
guess
will
he.
marry a prostitute to save money. Well, because if you marry a prostitute, you don't have to buy her like, diamond
Yeah.
rings and stuff like that.
He
They're
doesn't
like,
pay her
look,
by
chick,
the
I got you
hour.
off the street. I'm not buying you.
I got one.
You know.
All right, I need to tie this up. What's the last
Okay.
one?
The next one is called "Full of Nuts."
I think I'm just like really good at like alliteration.
is
I'm
it-
like
is
Full
it-
Metal Jacket.
No, is it that nut? Is that Nut Job
Is
movie?
there like a squirrel movie?
That squirrel movie, Nut Job.
No, that's not a bad
Hold
one.
on. Give me one more. Give me a second. Full of nuts. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No. The answer is Dodgeball.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Nuts and bolts.
Thank you, China.
All
I
right.
got one. I
You win this round.
She did win. Sarah wins.
I won
Damn it.
something.
Pretty amazing
I
stuff.
thought that Colors one was a good guess. Though.
That was actually a pretty good guess.
All right, and then we have our top 5 list once again from boxofficemojo.com. Finstock, will you please help me out?
Oh,
Yes.
this is to relate to the Maze Runner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
It's
Go
all-
ahead. All right, so what are our top 5 this
Top
week?
5 are Debbie Does Dallas, Lord of the G-Strings, and
No, no,
Saturday
no,
Night
no,
Fever.
no,
What
no,
list
no,
are
no,
you
no.
saying?
Finstock, it's
Adult
supposed to be
movies.
young adult movies.
No, it's a young
Oh, I
adult
thought it was regular adult
adaptations.
adult movies.
Oh my god.
Are you
Young,
kidding me right now?
Our list is not
Something
whatever
must
he
have
just
happened.
said.
If you're
Are-
listening,
hold on.
don't look up those titles.
I'd watch Saturday Night
Okay,
Fever though.
guys.
Okay, sorry. Okay, here it
The
is.
top
now I know
5
what I'm doing.
is young adult adaptations,
Okay.
thanks to Maze Runner,
Yes.
which we're talking.
Sorry about that.
Won the box office this week. Number 5, very interesting to me because it's actually a standalone movie. Fault in Our Stars, $300 million.
Oh, that's recent. Too.
That's worldwide too.
Yep, recent, and the rest we're going to get into are franchises.
Well,
Yeah, that's-
everybody cares about cancer, you know, like, and especially if you do it well. That's what happened to Fault in Your Stars, right? Somebody got cancer or something like that.
I didn't see it.
I think that's what
Sarah,
happened.
did you see it?
Yeah, it's like somebody got cancer. Or something.
It's quite the tragic,
tearjerker.
sad.
It's a tearjerker.
Love story. They branded this to be like the love story to end all love stories. To me, they have a friend love. I'm sorry, I'm not on
Oh,
board
really?
with Faults in Our Stars. Yeah,
Wow.
it's good.
Is there-
It's sweet.
Is there room for a sequel? I know. I haven't seen it.
300
I know
million
there's,
worldwide, there'll be room for a sequel. They'll get the guy come down from heaven or something like that.
No.
can't wait to
Number
see-
4, which we will get a sequel for, Divergent,
Yes.
$286 million.
What was the China
also
title?
known as in China as
He's going to say
detergent.
Detergent.
which is not true.
Yeah.
But that's also
Okay.
interesting because that's a newer film. Both of these came out this
Yeah,
past
well-
year, and they're just starting, and they're already 4 and 5 on our list.
Can I just say, young adult is kind of a new fad in Hollywood.
It really
was
is.
it really something happening earlier in the day? What was-
When we get to number 1, you're going to realize
Well-
how many years
Yeah.
this goes back. Number 3, Hunger Games, 1.5. We're
man.
going to the $1 billion range
Yeah.
now.
That's going to change
We're
when
going
part
into
3 comes
Apple
out.
and
Mm-hmm.
the Apple ranges.
That's just going to get
and
bigger and bigger.
Samsung.
Hunger Games.
The last one will make the most money. For
Number
sure.
2, obviously. Twilight, $3.3
Oh,
billion.
God.
Jesus
God.
Christmas.
This is what I'll give it. If you
Jesus
watch
Christmas.
Twilight as a comedy, it gets so much better.
I like Twilight.
I
more.
have never seen a Twilight film
Then how can you bash it?
because I've seen snippets to know I do not like it.
There you go. The one wasn't
Just try
that
it as
bad.
a comedy.
Peter,
Try it.
I watch anything with Peter for Sheila. What is his name? Is?
I have
Peter
no idea.
Fratelli?
I've never seen the movie.
He's the dad. He plays like a 30-year-old dad.
Okay. Number
He's married to
1.
Jenny Garth. Hold on.
Number 1.
One
This
second.
is the important. What do you want to say about Twilight?
Yeah.
I'm just
What
saying
do you have
one
to say
wasn't
about
that bad.
this?
The other three, whatever it was, were
Did you watch
absolutely
all of them?
horrible. No, I only watched one. I don't want to see. I've seen everything. The kid's a vampire.
You guys, you can't.
If I see
Stop.
Robert Pattinson in the street, I'm
You
gonna ask
can't
him
bash
for money.
movies you
He's
haven't
definitely got
seen.
some.
Doesn't he
Number
glitter?
one.
He glitters
He
in
does
the
glitter.
daytime.
Number
does.
one.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Christmas. Wow.
$8 billion.
Oh, Harry Potter. That's
Dollars.
right.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers talking like they ain't got no money.
$8 billion. We're discussing what could you do with $8 billion?
Holy crap.
I would fund an army to take over Antarctica.
That's
What
not
are
a
you-
bad one.
What are you doing in Antarctica?
I'm going to create my own Game of Thrones cosplay
Can I-
arena.
Wow.
Can I just visit this? I want
I'd
to go
be down with
sledding. I feel like the sledding out there would be
And
amazing.
JT can come just to go sledding.
That's all I want to do. That sounds amazing.
I would buy.
And a pet penguin.
What would you
$8 billion.
do? Is that what you would do? Go sledding with $8 billion?
He would go sledding with
No,
$8 billion.
I'm saying if she bought
Might
$8
do
billion,
so much better.
she bought Antarctica, that's where I would go.
What would you do?
What would I do?
I wouldn't buy Antarctica. I would fund an
man.
army or people to come with me to Antarctica.
I would spend at least $2 billion making the biggest budget action film ever.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, you got
Okay.
$6 billion left.
that's what I'm saying. I'd
So
only
you can
spend
tank
two.
whatever you want.
Finstock, do you have an $8 billion plan?
This is
I
I'm
would
scared.
probably. I would probably buy Vietnam, like the whole country. I would, and then I'd probably I don't know. I want to see what's going on with the Ho Chi Minh Trail
Why?
and stuff like that.
Why are you buying Vietnam?
Yeah.
Because I found it an intriguing place.
Okay, so it comes
Oh
from
my
a soft
God.
spot in your
Yeah.
heart that you just really love Vietnam.
Then I'd invite like all my like action heroes that I like down there, like Stallone
If
and
you-
Frank Stallone, and
If you buy Vietnam, can I direct a $1 billion Vietnam movie?
yeah, that'd
At
be
least
good.
there can be some sort of team effort in
Yeah.
this $8
Apocalypse
billion junction.
I love that.
You guys can split the $8 billion. I'll take my own $8 billion and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Finally, let's get into our predictions for
Okay,
next
so-
week.
The big two films are coming out is The Equalizer, Denzel action movie. It's going to draw a lot of people.
Yes.
And the second one is the family film Box Trolls.
Correct. Those are the two new ones that are hitting the box office, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Well, the two
that
big names
are
that
going to make
hitting.
any damage.
Right. I got two interesting stories about both those movies, and if you want to hear them.
Oh God, please.
Let's
Well-
try the first one. If the first one's a good story, you can have the second one. If
Okay.
the first one's a stupid story,
Okay. Well, this is a pretty good story.
We're not gonna do it.
Obviously, The Equalizer stars Denzel Washington, who is, I think, one of the best actors of our time. Because when you watch Denzel movies,
Great.
nobody comments on the way Denzel acts. Like, he's always flawless. It's always about the movie, it's about the director, about the co-stars, but Denzel always gets a free pass because he's Denzel and he's the best. I had the pleasure of working with him
okay.
on a movie called Book of Eli.
Oh,
Great
wow.
movie.
Really?
Okay, so he was coming off of Pelham 123, and he was a little overweight because he had to be like a conductor, and those guys
Yeah.
like eat Twinkies all day and like things like that. So he came in for Eli about 15 to 20 pounds overweight. You know, he has to be like this blind guy, yada yada yada. So we were in the office, and he's in there, and he's drinking the cleanser, and I was like, wow, I just got off that. He's like, man, I'm getting caffeine headaches. We started talking, and he's like, I was like, here's what you could do. You can't run, but you could do pull-ups. He's like, man, I really appreciate that. I'm like, all right. So cut to later on in the night, right? I'm with this girl in a bar. We're hanging out, and she's like, what'd you do today? I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to brag or whatever. And she's like, no, go ahead. And I was like, yeah, I was working with Denzel. We were talking about, cleansers and, how he's going to drop weight for the movie. I put him on like a little workout routine, this and that. And she's like, oh, really? She goes, I don't believe you. And I'm like, no, you should. It's true. And why would I lie about something like that? And she's like, well, why don't you turn around and say what's up to him? Because he's right behind you. And I was like, no, he's not. Turn around. Sure enough, he's right there. So she's like, why don't you go say hi, tough guy? And I'm like,
Oh,
boy.
wow.
I was like, all right. So I go up to him. He's like standing with has a drink in his hand, a couple of dudes with him. And I'm like, hey, Denzel, what's up? He's like, what, are you following me? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And it's like,
I
no,
can totally hear him
I
say
was like,
that.
I'm just in there, here hanging out. I didn't even know you come here. It's like, oh, it's one of my favorite spots. I'm like, yeah, with my girl over there, this and that. He waves to her. I go back to the table, and I'll let you draw your own conclusion when I have my rest of that night. But anyway,
That is amazing.
that being said, that's a true story
You're
too.
giving that's amazing.
It's an ultimate
I'm
wingman
giving
story.
that has nothing to do at all with the movie. I thought
Listen,
this
it
was
just
going to be
shows you how-
some sort of information that would
Yeah,
be
but-
useful to people.
Yeah, but Denzel could have shot me down and been like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you get out of here.
So you're trying
And
to
then
say
I
he's
would-
actually a good guy.
Yeah, he actually
Okay.
gave me an assist.
Let me tell you, I was on the fence about seeing this movie this weekend. I'm going after hearing that story.
Boom.
Does that mean you're giving him permission to do the second
I think
story?
I have to. I mean, it's Box Trolls. What's he going to say about it?
Well, there's a little thing about box trolls I don't think anybody really knows. Back in the 20s.
Does this have to deal with you, or does this have to deal with
No,
the
this
movie?
is the origin of the word box troll.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know where the English people got it from. But anyway, it was 1920s, in the 30s, like Capone era, like mafia stuff.
Okay, prohibition and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So there was like, instead of whacking somebody, just, shooting them in drive-bys and stuff like that, you would box troll somebody.
Okay.
So basically what you would do is commission like a little person to like sit inside like a box.
this isn't true.
No, it's true. I swear. So what you would do is you lay it on their doorstep. They go and like start opening it, and either the little person would stab you or shoot you because they wanted to make it they want to make it personal.
So this has nothing, once again, to do with the movie, because this is a kid-friendly stop-motion piece of art that has nothing to do with
I want to see that movie. That's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Jimmy, I think we're going to go box troll like Louis.
So they would basically...
I think you just hurt this movie.
The little person would come out and like basically put a hit on him.
Yeah, and they'd be like, this is for this is from Jimmy, whatever. They wanted to personalize their whackings.
That is amazing.
You guys can look it up. It's called box trolling.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, they can look that up. They can also look up the movies for next week. And I want to know who's going first this time.
Well, I think
JT?
Mr. 5 out of 5.
I went first last time, so I think maybe JT should go.
JT,
right, I'll go.
I think you have to go first
You
on what your predictions are for
winners go
next
last.
week's Box Office.
I will never go against Denzel in an action film. That guy,
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Okay.
it's insane. So you got to go Denzel.
I'm on board for that.
It looks like Man on Fire 2 almost, that movie.
It does. Well, it's a famous TV series.
Yeah, it was
if
a
you
TV
guys
series.
haven't seen the TV series Equalizer, you should check it out. It was on CBS in like the mid '80s and stuff like that. My grandmother used to watch it. It's
At
amazing.
the same time, 80% of the people that are seeing this movie this weekend have no idea it's based on a TV show. I guarantee you
Well,
that.
that might be a good thing sometimes.
All right,
Sure.
so you got number one, The Equalizer.
Number 1, Equalizer. 2, we got to stick with Maze Runner. 'Cause That's what a lot of the kids, they might buy tickets for Maze Runner to sneak in the Equalizer because it's rated R. Number 3, oh god, I guess I'll stick with what was number 3?
The Troll of the Box.
I'm going with number 3, Box Trolls. I'm really scared I'm going to have the same list as JT
Yeah,
right now,
yeah.
and it's going to be a problem.
Equalizer, Maze Runner, Box Trolls. Then I gotta go. I think this is where I leave you.
Spit it out.
This is where I leave you. Yeah, I think I have to go there.
And number 5.
Oh, that's a tough one, Dolphin Tale.
Okay, that's where me and you are going to separate. Finstock.
I will go number 1, obviously, my partner in crime, Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Equalizer.
Wingman.
Number 2, I am going to go with, the old Italian method of whacking people, box trolls.
Okay, so that's where you guys are
Yeah.
off base. Number 3.
Number 3 is going to be Maze Runner. I mean, it's going to be neck and neck.
So you've just switched your 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't want to have the same as JT because I want to get, obviously...
You want to win.
Full speed ahead, yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4 is going to be Walk Among the Tombstones.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That should be my number 5.
That's my number 5.
Damn.
And-
I'll stay with Dolphin Tale.
And number 5 is going to be, the Jane Fonda movie.
This is where I leave you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so ours are pretty similar. Mine, almost, I'm running right with you, JT.
right there.
The Equalizer, number 1. Number 2, Maze Runner. Number 3, Box Trolls. And number 4, This Is Where I Leave You. I'm putting A Walk Amongst the Tombstones on number 5. I'm not sure because I feel like The Equalizer and Walk
It's gonna
Amongst the
take
Tombstones
away that
are the
audience.
same audience.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And generally, when you look at the opening numbers between Liam Neeson and Denzel Washington, Denzel's a stronger. So
You know what? Yeah. You
How
know
have
what
those
he is?
two not done a movie together where they're just both kicking ass?
I don't want
Yeah.
them to be.
They're basically in the same
They
movie.
kick ass so much they can't do it together because it
They've
would wipe out a
also-
whole planet.
It's like the Stallone Arnold days. They're
What
too
if they
big.
fought each other?
Oh, there you go.
You know
There you
what?
go.
I gotta
Movie.
go with Denzel because Denzel, even when he dies, he looks cool.
It's true.
Like he doesn't even. He's like he has the best death scenes in the world.
Oh.
Like he got shot like 45,000 times in Training Day and was like still alive.
Scarface style.
Yeah, and then he got shot in Malcolm X like 40 times and he was still alive. I mean that was a clear cut assassination.
What
You
is it?
just don't think Liam dies as nicely?
I don't even think he ever dies really.
Oh,
Well, he died in a couple of movies.
Yeah, he dies,
Like
but he
Batman and
usually
stuff like
goes
that.
out pretty tough too, like in The
Yeah.
Gray.
But the reason why Denzel, I think, is so good in these movies is because he is that guy. Like he is the guy in Training Day. Like he's killer in that, and he deserved it.
You know what I want? I want a sequel to Two Guns called Three Guns
Okay.
with Wahlberg, Denzel, and Liam Neeson.
I like that.
That is a very good plan. I like
Yeah.
it. I will be seeing probably The Equalizer
Three
this
Guns.
week, and I think I'm going to see Box Trolls. I think it's
Really?
an art form.
Okay.
Stop motion, I have a soft spot for. I think
Is
it
it
does
clay?
well.
I thought it was claymation.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's
both.
well, they use clay, but it's like stop motion. Like
You move them.
I don't know how
Well,
people make
hopefully-
those
It
movies.
takes so
Well,
much
maybe
time and
if
it's
Box
crazy.
Trolls is number 1, we could do the top 5 like claymation movies of all time next week.
Do you know how long it takes to make one of those things?
There's not.
You have to move like every inch, frame by frame.
We're talking about like you have to take different. They
my
have all
buddy,
different
my
faces.
buddy Vincent Prapulanis, he was the.
All right, guys.
Well, he was the head.
We
He was
can
the head
talk about it
claymation
next
guy in
week.
Celebrity Deathmatch in MTV. He was the head guy.
Bring it back for next week. I'm sure we're going to be talking about Box Trolls because it's going to be in the top
All
5.
right.
And before we go, I believe, JT, we need to address some things.
Yeah, I'll adjust this camera.
Yeah, well, obviously, what if you watch the Schmoes Know podcast and SK movies and everything like that, there was a big upset this week, a huge one, possibly the biggest one of all time.
Unless
it was a conspiracy, and there's been conspiracies, the JFK assassination, 9/11, who was responsible for canceling Who's the Boss.
I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from JTE.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I'm leading into the conspiracies.
Okay.
I mean, this is like right up there with the Shroud of Turin.
This is it's not so much a conspiracy than it is a witch hunt. My fellow Schmoevillians, this past week I had a great weekend, full of joy.
Yeah, you didn't even see me this weekend.
I did see this weekend, and to get that stripped away from you because of some people who maybe didn't get the outcome that they wanted is very irresponsible. Not since McCarthyism in the 1950s. I'm not going to get into that. My lawyer doesn't want me to go too much into detail.
Yeah, you don't want to talk too much.
Let me just say I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm looking forward to get these allegations completely taken off the record.
Exonerated.
There's zero truth and even less evidence.
Well, I was talking to my buddy Tom Mesereau, who's Michael Jackson's lawyer, and we drink at the bar called Electric Avenue over on
I'm sure
3rd
this is
Street.
the same bar where we met Denzel.
And we run too. We both wear sweatpants, and he's a great guy. He's a long flowing white hair. If you watch the Michael Jackson trials, you'll see him in the background. He got Robert Blake and Mike Tyson off. He gave me a little advice on what to. He watched the tape, and
he did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Point.
It's going to be a good day for JT.
Okay.
I'm
on your side too. I totally
you.
believe you. I'm on Team JT for this. We've got your back.
God bless you.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that'll be this Thursday. Of course, watch all of the Schmoes Knows podcast. Go to YouTube, Schmoes Knows podcast. Go to schmoesknows.com. Of course, you guys, check out our Facebook page.
Yes.
We want your comments. We want your likes. We want to know your thoughts, your prediction. We survive because of you guys. That is why we are on this show. We love talking to you. We love hearing from you. So please subscribe and rate. And we've got at SchmoesJTE.
You got it.
And at Bob Finstock.
At Bob Finstock.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Keep watching those numbers.
Poof.
From producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to Box Office Breakdown. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes Know Network episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com. And don't forget to rate and review this show on iTunes. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes Know.